Hi everybody and welcome to another class. Today's class is all about working your tummy muscles mainly. Other parts of the body will be stretched and turned, but this really concentrates on the stomach. Let's start with a tiny bit of breath work and we'll go from there. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out through the nose, preferably. And listen to the sound of your breath. Notice how the breath rises from the navel to the throat as you inhale. And as you exhale, how the breath flows down from the throat to the navel. As you inhale, the tummy and the chest should fill up with the breath. And as you exhale, everything should soften. If at any time your mind wanders off, let the thoughts go and always come back to that sound and that feeling of your breath. And then when you are ready, open your eyes, come back to the room, and let's begin. So the first pose that we're going to do today is called a roll up, and we're going to use our resistance band. You can do this without a resistance band, but sometimes this just works really, really well for releasing the spine, the hamstrings, and there's not too much effort through the stomach. You're certainly not going to be pushing down in the pelvic floor, so it's a lot safer. Okay. So, I've got my band. I'm going to start off with the simplest version of this. I am sat on my sit bones. You could sit on a blanket or a towel if you've got bony coccyx or sit bones. Okay. Right then. I'm placing this band around both feet. My knees are bent, knees and feet are hip distance apart, and I'm holding the band really close to the feet. When I am ready, I'm going to exhale and roll away. And all I'm doing is coming down onto the lower back. Then I'm breathing in, shifting my weight forwards, and the band brings me back up. Exhaling, rolling away, inhaling, back up. My chin is nodded under, the jaw is relaxed, the gaze is soft. Lovely way of releasing the hamstring connection onto the sit bone. You'll also feel that working your tummy muscles. Okay, so you can make this harder. And what I'm going to do is take my legs out long. My feet are still hip distance apart. And I'm just going to exhale and roll off the pelvis. And I come down to the sacrum and the spine, and I'm coming down very slowly. And the shoulders open, but my chin is still nodded under, so the head doesn't quite touch the floor. Then I'm breathing in and rolling up, and I'm back to where I started. Exhaling, rolling away. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, rolling away. Inhaling, up. If you notice that as you come to roll up, your feet are lifting from the floor, that is tight hamstrings, and I would go back to the movement with bent knees. Okay, so that's roll-ups with a band. You can do more of those if you want to. Our next one is known as Navasana, which is boat pose. Okay, you can use a band for this, and I will go through that, but this is the traditional way of doing it without using a band. I am sat on my sit bones. My knees are bent and my knees and feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to take hold of the backs of my legs, right under the knees, very, very firmly. And I'm rolling slightly off the sit bones, and it feels like I've come onto a ledge. Then one shin up, then the other. Shins like a tabletop. Collarbone wide, chin under, jaw relaxed, gaze soft. Lots of core control on the pelvic floor, and you can stay here, or you can take the arms out. You might want to bring the hands on the inside of the legs and take hold of the trousers, the ankles, or the toes like I do. And you can stay here. I think you can feel the tummy muscles working throughout this pose. And gradually, going into full Navasana, straightening the legs. And release the pose. But you can do all of that using a band. So don't worry if you feel that your arms aren't long enough to do this. You can do this. Double up the band. Place the band around the feet. Keep the band wide so it doesn't slip off and hit you. And I'm holding the band really close to the feet, probably 3 inches away. Again, I'm on my sit bones, core control and jaw relaxed. And then I'm slightly rolling off the sit bones, bringing the shins up to knee height. Then eventually just continue to lengthen the legs. So there's two versions of how to do Navasana. Okay. Our next one is Cobra. So I'm coming down towards the bottom of my mat. My knees and feet are hip distance apart, and I'm sat on the heels. I'm going to drape over the thighs and place the hands either side of the mat. If there's any tension in my arms or shoulders, I lift away from the heels and take the hands further up the mat. Core control, pelvic floor, breathe in. As you breathe in, drop the elbows down to the floor, and the nose is quite close to the mat for a length of time before the head passes the shoulders and the elbows have to leave the mat. And there is Cobra. Relax. I would stay here for about 5 slow, deep breaths. Up to you if you look forwards or to the ceiling. Breathe in and push back with the pelvis. Back to where you started. Then, once more. Breathe in, elbows drop down to the mat, not out to the sides. Nose is quite close to the floor. Do not tighten through the bottom muscles. It will give you lower backache and sciatica. Breathe in and push back. Always play about with the arm movement in this pose. We are all different shapes and sizes, different length of arms, and one rule doesn't fit everybody. You might need to take the hands further up the mat, or slightly wider than the mat. Play with the pose. Breathing in and pushing back. So as you push forwards with the head, you're opening up the shoulder girdle. You're lengthening the spine. And when you come all the way through, you are stretching the abdominal muscles and a muscle called the psoas. Breathe in and push back. Take a moment resting back in child's pose. Our final one for today is a single leg stretch. Works beautiful on the tummy muscles. You're going to lay down on your back. Both knees are bent. Knees and feet are hip distance apart. Jaw relaxed. We're going to do one sit-up. So, chin under and slide the ribs down to the hips. And there is your sit-up. Take hold of the right knee, shin like a tabletop, and lengthen the left leg. And that leg is just hovering off the floor. You can hold that a breath or two before you breathe in and swap legs. They do a very similar movement in Pilates, but it is a lot quicker than this. The reason for holding the leg in a breath or two is to massage the internal organs. And always start with the right leg. When you have that enough, come down, rest. You can pull the legs in towards the tummy and roll the lower back into the floor. I'm going to do a few more of those. So I'm back to my start position, chin under, sliding ribs down to hips. Don't forget the core control, even when you're doing tummy muscle exercises. Right leg in, left leg away, couple of breaths, and then swap legs. And then you can release the pose. Knees in, roll the back into the floor, and bring the feet back to the mat. And we'll just do a few moments of relaxation. Make sure that when you are breathing, the tongue is relaxed in the mouth and you are not gritting your teeth. Be aware of the rise and the fall of your chest and the sound of your breath. Every time you exhale, allow the body to soften and relax. Every part of your body should start to become limp and heavy. The shoulders, the arms, the hands, the buttocks, the legs, the feet. The skull and the whole of the back. Let it all soften. Slowly wriggle your fingers and toes. Open your eyes and come back to the room. Bend the knees. Roll over to the side and come up to sitting when you are ready. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. It will really get the tummy muscles working. Once the tummy muscles are working properly, the spine will release and let go of a lot of tension, so backache will be relieved. Don't forget to like my videos and subscribe.